Hi, welcome to Tom's Backyard Workshop. These are Ethiopian opals that I picked up at a local gem and mineral show last year. I paid too much for them, but I don't mind. Our yearly gem and mineral show is small, and I like to support local events. Hopefully more vendors will come next year. Last winter, I made an opal ring for my sister. This is the long-lost footage of how I cut that opal. Most Ethiopian opal is hydrophane, meaning it absorbs water. I was surprised how quickly it happens. In the 20 minutes I spent cutting this stone, it went from a white opal to almost completely clear. Luckily, hydrophane opals can return to their original state if you let them dry out. But they can also absorb oils and other substances that can change the color in ways that are harder to undo. The cutting process is the same as with Australian opals. Carefully shape the opal and polish it with a series of drums with finer and finer grits. I started on the 600 grit Nova wheel. It was cutting too slowly, so I eventually went over to the 325 grit sintered wheel off camera to carefully rough in the stone. You can already see the stone is starting to lose color on the edges, and I've only just cleaned the skin off. After gluing the stone to a daub stick made from a bamboo skewer, I have more control while I refine the shape and form the dome. I don't recommend using wax to attach the stone. I tried that once and it led to the stone cracking. Forming the dome is a process of rolling the edges over while turning the opal. It takes finesse to get it right. You have to keep the stone moving or you will form excessive flat spots, like a facet. Remember, opal is very soft. If you aren't careful, it can go bad quickly. If you are a beginner, I recommend starting with larger, low-quality opals. You can even substitute glass, which has a similar hardness. The next step is a 1200 grit Nova wheel. This wheel will remove the scratches from the previous wheel and smooth out the flat spots. It's important to remove all the scratches from the previous wheel before moving on to the next. But be mindful that every touch of the wheel removes opal. If you spend too much time on one wheel, you are decreasing the size and value of the gem. Most gem cutters will go straight to polishing from here, but I like to give it a pre-polish with a 14,000 grit Nova wheel. I find I get a better polish when I do this. The final step is to polish the stone with cerium oxide, which I either didn't film or I lost the footage of. By the time I finished polishing the opal, it had gone almost completely clear. But after it had dried, it was back to its original color. And here is the stone set in this silver ring which I made as a Christmas gift for my sister. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.
Coming soon to Tom's Backyard Workshop.
First thing we decided to do in Thailand is go to Terminal 21, and it's not open for another hour.